Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, Timothy, after a loss? How you feeling? We're back in studio, by the way. I feel like it's been a month.
It has, because I was out of town, and then I think we came back for one, and
then we took a pause break.
Yeah, took the week off, and then you were out of town.
Yeah.
And then there was like work involved.
And now it's like getting dark early, and it's nipply outside.
little
You're
chilly
wearing a
out.
hoodie with the hood on.
I'm
for
actually just
today's
trying
episode.
to hide my tears from this weekend, dude. That was a letdown.
You're crying?
A little bit.
I just don't really feel much anymore. It's almost expected for me at this point.
It's so stupid. Why do we do this sometimes? I ask myself that.
It's okay. Basketball's almost here. I've got the Tigs basketball ready to rock.
I couldn't hear that. Your shirt was...
Got the Tigs basketball ready to rock. We're only 2 weeks away from our first exhibition, Timothy.
That is kind of soon. I guess I didn't think about it.
I feel like it gets earlier and earlier every year.
It does feel that way. Hey, tonight we have got Wiseacre Dr. Gibbler smoked Hell's Lager. I don't really know what's going on with this. I'm sure there's a reference behind Dr. Gibbler.
Are y'all too young to remember?
That is indeed smoky. Holy smoke.
Oh, man.
I mean, Kenny, you need to come in here.
It's like liquid smoke.
It smells like a campfire.
Yeah.
And it tastes okay, we can't get. I mean, this tastes like smoked salmon.
You still have the boo-boo juice?
No.
Somebody just splashed up on my face. That is something. You know?
That is a wild.
They've got something going on there. We'll get to that later on.
All right. How awful was that game, Timothy?
I mean, look.
Was it worse than a 1 of 11 start?
No, that was brutal. What was going on with that?
First of all, 1 of 11 should have been 0 of 11 with 2 picks. The only one was Kobe Drake, who catches everything, somehow miraculously coming away with that ball that was thrown straight.
Kobe Drake catches everything so much that he doesn't even know he had the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, it was absurd. I have no idea how he caught that. I mean, it doesn't help that his back was to us, but
Sure.
him coming away with that was very impressive.
So I guess we're just going to just dive right into it. The one for, what was it, 1 of 9 for 11 yards?
To me, he looked scared, nervous, not ready for the moment.
I think that's fair. He did look a little nervous in the first.
I mean, on our first drive, Demir runs and out to the sideline.
Yeah.
Had him.
Soared that bad boy.
I mean, I don't know if it was adrenaline, if it was a scared, I'm going to throw this to where maybe really he could only get it. But honestly, you and I were closer to catching that pass.
Yeah,
it's like 10 yards behind him. Like, I was right there. It was like 10 yards behind him.
Yeah, you mean like
over
upfield.
his head.
Yeah,
like
that's
beyond
what I'm saying.
him.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Beyond
almost
him,
it was
yes.
almost a TJ and I.
Yeah, it was pretty close to our row. And again, I think this is something that we have seen from Seth, give or take the last couple of years, pretty consistently, is not setting his feet to deliver like a more accurate strike, right? We saw that a lot last year with that tight end who must not be named, right? A couple of strikes right over the middle and high, 6'5".
And he's
6'5" guy couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
And I think that typically comes with not setting your feet and trying to put too much upper body into it, as opposed to against like some hip and leg drive into it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, it had to have been nerves, I guess. I don't know what else to allude it to. I mean, he kind of mentioned it, talked about it, I think, post-game, saying like he knew going in that this was the biggest game of his career here so far. And I'm like, it's Tulane. That sounds ridiculous.
No, I actually would agree with that.
I mean, I think we said it last week. It like
Yeah.
in Silver Fields area, I think it was like probably the biggest game. But also, like, how bad has the conference dropped off?
I think
I don't care that they went to the Cotton Bowl and won it last year. Whatever, Tulane's a
Yeah, that's 1 year out of since Matt Forte was there. They've been pretty
Doo-doo.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
bad since Forte left. That could be bad. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure Matt Forte was the last one that was like a good team there. But no, I mean, look, Seth finished. Where's it at? 23 of 43, 321 yards with 2 interceptions. So not a single touchdown thrown, I don't believe. Unless I'm missing something
What?
here.
No, he had 3 tutties.
Did he? Oh, I didn't scroll up enough, dude. My bad.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at the stat.
You were there.
I know, dude. I'm sitting here just trying to read this thing, and it's vertical as opposed to across, and it was just really throwing me off.
Yeah, well, I mean, what?
Yeah, I mean, I know he threw touchdowns. Now I'm sitting here repicturing all of them.
3 of them.
You know, the final stat line really not that bad, but I don't think.
I mean,
that,
minus those 2 picks, which the second.
Yeah, hold on. Yes, I will fight for that second one. I hate that that's against him because that was a perfect strike. Gonna go against us. That's like 7. I feel like seriously,
The ball literally never bounces our way in any sport.
it bounced perfectly into the defender's hands in
Right
this
on the
game.
sideline. How does that not go out of
Go
bounds?
out of bounds. Just go any other direction other than right into his hand. And there was one earlier this year too, where I think 2 passes were batted and or deflected straight into the defender's hands, and it was an interception.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. You get down again. It's a slow start. We keep talking about it, but it felt the same. It felt just like Boise State 2 weeks ago. You get down 2 scores, 10-0. You score back-to-back possessions right before half. You have all the momentum. You come out your first drive of the second half, march right down the field, and at this point you're up 21-10. You've got all the momentum, and I'm not going to sit here and say I thought we were going to blow them out. But I thought at the worst, the game was going to go maybe a little bit back and forth. And if we ended up with the ball last, maybe we win by like 10.
Yeah. I was
And then all hell broke loose.
I was thinking about you during that. Once we got that lead and it seemed like we had all the momentum, I was like, dang, Trey put a pretty fat deposit down on a Memphis
I
win.
should have cashed out.
You should have.
There was an option to cash out when we were up 21-10 for just $100 profit. But I got a little greedy and was feeling great at that point in time and let it ride. And then I never checked it again.
I'm going to let you know he should have cashed out.
It's fine. It was house money. It's over with.
And so, first question, I meant to ask this as we started off. What do you think is the reason for the slow starts? Obviously, Seth going 1 of 9 for 11 yards, whatever the stat line was. That is obvious, right? What else? That can't be the only thing because we're not coming out just slinging it.
It's the Tampa 2 defense.
I don't know what it is. I mean, defensively, we didn't start out slow. I mean, I think right off the bat, you forced them into 2 straight 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I had
Right.
it.
And then you come out, you get an interception. So the defense has just gone a 3-and-out, and then 2 plays, and you're sending them right back out onto the field. And then you come out and they score. And then I think you got 5 plays off, but essentially had another quick turnaround on offense. I don't know what it is because obviously it's a level of competition difference there. But earlier in the season, well, I guess it was really just Bethune-Cookman. You came out and marched down the field straight away on your first offensive possession. So let's throw that out the window. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I mean, first of all, look at the first drive. 2-yard run, 11-yard run. 1-yard run, and then incomplete pass, punt.
Well, and a penalty. So that immediately kind of kills the drive when you get that far behind the chains.
That is true. But I mean, like, it doesn't sound too bad, right? For opening drive, like you just move the ball. Great, got it. You hit the penalty.
So it's both. I mean, outside of the interception, your first couple of drives, it was pretty much penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, the drive after that, you're driving, you get to the 44, so near midfield, and it comes back offensive holding, 10 yards.
And I'll tell you where I'm going with this, because I think that there is a common idea, and put an asterisk on all this. Once we're finished, I'll kind of wrap it up on kind of what I'm talking about.
Beer is wild.
There's a lot going on there. If you go back and look at it,
Mary for no reason.
really hated that.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's not like we're having 3 and outs where we're 2-3 yards,
yeah.
couple of incompletions. You got to run up the gut 2 yards and then another incompletion. I mean, like,
I mean, I do
it's
agree.
self-inflicted, I feel like.
I do agree with the idea that play calling could be a little bit more dynamic, right? You know, we've spent previous episodes talking about run crossing routes. Like, it's pretty
I
obvious.
tweeted
that
that
Seth
at you,
doesn't
sitting
have-
next to you on
I
Friday,
know.
because it was working. You hit Demir across the middle. You hit Rock across the middle. Big plays. It was wide open in the middle of the
Holy
field.
crap!
Landfear. What?
When Demir caught that
And
ball
held it out here?
and just held it like this, I was like, "This is it. This is how we lose. This ball is getting poked out." But it didn't.
I
And he
didn't
busted
even-
it for 47 like a boss.
I didn't even. It, to me, he didn't even have to get poked out. I thought he was just going to drop it.
I just look. I do think the crossing routes work because I think it's safe to say that Seth doesn't have all day to throw back there.
I know
You
it's
need
quick,
to get the
but
ball out of his hands and get him into a rhythm. And it seems like we're getting away from that. And it maybe, if not for that damn Tampa 2 that we were facing that was shutting us down so much,
Look,
for some
if I
unholy
hear
reason.
one more time post game from anybody, staff, player, fan, they ran something defensively we hadn't seen on film, I'm going to lose my mind.
Let me ask you a question. If you and I were head coaches for 2 different teams, do you think you would change up just a little bit what you do
Oh, yeah.
every game?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to come out and show something
Hopefully
new
we are
every
doing
time.
that. I really hope our defense is doing that. I hope our offense is doing that. I legitimately, when I heard that, I was like, I misunderstood the statement, or he misunderstood the question, because there's no way in hell you want me to believe that you were like, they just didn't run the same thing that we've seen on film the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no way.
it's like taking a test and expecting all the answers to be given to you beforehand.
Look, I mean,
The questions were different than the practice test.
I tweeted out the defense wasn't playing that bad. And then, of course, we had terrible cell service. So that sent like 3 hours later, and someone started ripping into me on JRV, started ripping me on Twitter. He's like, dude, we just dropped like our 3rd interception. I was like, I sent that so
God.
long
Don't
ago,
even,
man.
That drive, I almost left. It was 7-0, I think, at that point, and I almost left because of how bad that that was 3. 2 of them were at least pick sixes.
Yeah.
The other one, I think it was Bell. Or no, it was Smith. Cameron Smith dropped
Cam
2
had
of
2
them.
of them.
Yeah.
One
DJ had
the
one that was a guaranteed catch, too. But
The first one from Cam was 100%. Well, was it a 4th down conversion? It was.
I don't know.
It was 100%. Let me look at it. I'm pretty sure it was a 4th down.
All in
I think
all,
it was
while you
like
looked that
4th
up,
and 2.
I thought the defense played well. You held.
It was 4th and 3, pass complete to Jaquan Jackson for 4 yards from the 40-yard line, and he went for the pick 6. And it just, Kenny, you may have had a better angle. It was we were kind of behind the play, so it was tough to see, but it looked like it went straight through his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
And I was screaming, just Kenny, volleyball, spike it down, and it's our ball right there. Instead,
you.
you go for the big play. Don't get it.
It was
It was unbelievable.
I wonder if they talked to guys about that. Is do you think they're coaching them just to always intercept it, or is it like, hey, just bat it down because the field position is going to greatly change? Like if you're 20 yards back and you catch it, like that's terrible field percent. Like where you're starting, your field position.
Nobody ever. I've never seen anyone just try. I would beat the shit out of the ball out of the air. Everybody's going for the pick. That's all they want. They want a pick.
It's not the smart team play.
I don't think they're coached to just.
And that's why we're
bat
here.
the thing out of the air.
That's why we're here.
The only team I've seen do that recently is Boise State, and it didn't work. On the Hail Mary they lost on the other night.
That was. Yeah. I don't know, man. It is what it is, right? I don't think that it's. You look back at the game. I don't think it was because Seth played like ass in the first half. I don't think it's because play calling was a certain way. I don't think it's because, and this may open its own can, that Blake didn't play a good portion of the game. Like I don't
even what happened.
I saw him get crushed on that kickoff.
It was the kickoff that they called a blindside block on, right?
Yeah, I think Sutton's return.
How is that even possible?
I saw him get.
How do you have a blindside block on a play that everything is
straight in front of you? I don't know. I'm assuming someone went one way and then cut back or something. I got nothing. I saw him get hit there, and he was slow to get up. He looked like he was hurt. And then you hear Ryan's press game, and you're like, all right, well, what the hell really happened? Like, is this a cover-up to an injury? Like,
yeah, he said something like, some nights you just can tell that guys don't have it. Yeah. And then we see freaking BT, who we hadn't seen in
the ghost of BT, man,
2 years.
He still looks the part, though. I think he did well.
Yeah, it was fine.
I think I
didn't have any complaints.
The problem is he's just not.
I just wasn't expecting it because I guess Jay Ducker's dead. I don't know.
Well, I've had my reservations there, and you guys made fun of me for it, and here we are. So if you want to apologize formally, I'll accept it. If not, I'm kidding. I think he's good. I just think that it's the speed thing. I really do think it's a speed thing.
You think they're pulling him to the sideline like, hey, man, we'd put you in, but you're too fucking freaking slow.
This is a family show,
I know.
sir.
You're going to have to beep that.
I think y'all have cussed more in this 19-minute segment than.
What do you want from me?
Nothing.
I've had enough of this.
Fucking cuss. I don't care.
Hey.
Whoa, dude. I have people ask me why we get NC-17 ratings on these videos. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Kenny's throwing it on there. I guess
it's the FAA.
Yeah, we're getting filtered here.
Trey always showing his ass.
That's true. No, seriously, this sounds, and I hate that I'm going to say this because it sounds like a Ryan thing. There's so much like synergy with a play going right. Like the play call can't suck for one. Seth has to deliver the pass in an advantageous spot for a receiver to catch it. Like we're talking about that rock pass that he should have caught, but it was like hitting him in the shoulder at the same time. You can't have Jonah Gamble just straight whiffing on a block. You can't have these things all happen at once. Like shit has to go right. And it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, when you play slow. Can we just play fast?
It does seem like they play better fast.
Everything fast. Get to the line fast. Call the play in fast. Seth, get rid of the ball fast. Like,
but also at the same time,
I feel like that you go back to your question on why we have slow starts is because we literally play slow. And then we get towards the end of the first half and they start running like quicker 2-minute style offenses. And then we put back-to-back scoring drives up.
But also, is that because we are playing from behind and other teams are playing
can we start to score out 10-0 every week so we come out and play fast?
So it's a serious question because when we play,
I'm sure it probably is, but why? Like, why do you have to be down to play that way?
I agree.
If that's the way you're most successful, then just play that way all the damn time.
I agree, but I don't know if the metrics actually point that way, and you know that they are big on metrics. You know that they are. That's why Ryan went for it against ECU.
The only metrics I care about are basketball metrics.
Sausage maker?
Our good friends over at Southern Hollywood posted something a couple of days ago. They said what's concerning about the slow start is that the first 3 drives are normally scripted plays.
I almost said that a minute ago. It's like typically people come out and they look good early because the entire
scripted a game plan, right?
series is scripted, and you would think that that's like ready to rock.
Yeah, but also imagine that those scripted plays are dependent on where you start on the field, right? Like,
sure.
You can't have your first play scripted as like a play action pass, and you're starting on the 1 yard line. They're probably not going to do that.
like
Right.
against Boise.
Yeah, like you're probably not going to, that script is going to be tossed and maybe moved to later on. Things change. I think it purely depends on where you start on the field.
Again, that goes back to another thing that I'm kind of tired of hearing in post-game press conferences is one little step, one little move, execution, ruins plays. It ruins it all. So do we have to have do we need to let Tulane know or let the opposing defense know, hey, listen, man, we really would like to start at the 45-yard line because our game plan tells us that we need to start here for us to be successful? Like not everything needs to always go perfectly for the Tigers to start well. Shit happens out there.
Every play, somebody's going to make a wrong step or do something. You just got to make a play and figure it out.
I would like to start at the 45 every time if we could pick that.
I mean, that would be nice if that was an option.
So I think we started at the 24.
So if we start, if the Tigers start at the 10-yard line, are we just supposed to scrap that drive and say, hey, man, listen, we're just going to run up the gut 3 times and punt the ball?
They score 90 yards if they're going quick.
Yeah.
Just put 2 minutes on the clock and tell them they got to score in the next 2 minutes from there, and they'll do it.
I do think it was funny that Kenny just did this whole spiel on saying everything has to go right. And I was literally just saying what a Ryan statement would be is there's so much synergy with this. You need the quarterback putting the ball in the right place. You need the receiver to catch the ball. You need the line to block. Literally just said the same thing without even thinking about it.
Well, that's true. I mean, yes, that's true. But damn, no,
it's definitely true. That's what pisses me off about the run game is it's not that you don't have talented linemen. It's not that you have an untalented running back. It's just that the shit doesn't flow smoothly. We have yet to see a time where it's hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. Oh, I guess they run zone, so it's like a hat on a gap kind of thing. And then someone's just wide open. There's never a hole. Why is there never a hole? Are you telling me we just rarely never are on the same page? That is absurd to think about. At some point it has to come back on players and say why can't you get the job done? It just blows my mind. We can't. Yes, some of it's on coaching, but some of that's got to come back on the players. And I think that Ryan said in the post game that I call people out, and I'm good. These are grown men.
Yeah.
Well, what's the matter? You keep calling them out, and the same stuff keeps happening. I mean,
well, this is the first time I think he said he's called them out.
Oh yeah,
somebody else out
he said
there.
in today's press availability that Saturday or Sunday was not a pleasant day at the facility in terms of film. That there were very specific guys that got called out, which good.
Yeah.
Good.
I guess if it makes a difference this week. Yeah. But
this game should have been a wake-up call because Tulane's very beatable. You had them.
Oh, they are very average looking.
That's what, just stop that run, and I think your offense is good enough to score on them. Obviously, you can't sit there and throw stupid interceptions. You take advantage of the 3 interceptions that you had, one or even 2 of them, and I think it's a different game. It is absurd how you had them and you just let it go.
Yeah.
This feels like last year's team. This is Jekyll and Hyde. This season is Jekyll and Hyde.
I don't know. Most frustrating part, one of the most frustrating parts from Friday night was our boy Andres Fox with the little nard punch on what was about to be a big 3rd and 9 Tulane had from their own 20-yard line with 9 minutes left in the game. We were about to get the ball back with decent field position. Talking about starting at the 45. And he decides to just Judy chop some dude in the wiener.
That guy, he may have castrated him. That dude was on the ground for the longest
I told Kenny this
ever.
before. It was more than just a little nut tap.
No, he punched him.
Yeah, straight up. Which I've played in a lot of sporting competitive events, and I've gotten mad and I'll shove somebody or something or I have never once stood up and been so mad and was I'm gonna hit this dude in the nuts. How does that
I don't know. I can't talk. I tried kicking a guy once. So
Oh my god.
I mean, kicking. Okay. I mean, I think you're a little Grayson Allen in you.
I kicked the trailer.
Punching
hitch
somebody in.
and lacerated an artery in my leg.
Kicking, that's just like people do that. People trip, kick, whatever. Like this dude stood up because he had gotten pancaked and just punched somebody square in the nuts.
It was wild because it was
And
right in front of two refs.
Thought
way
that
late.
the 35,000 people there. Well, supposedly a lot of people didn't see it, but that referees weren't going to see it. If you guys saw how many comments there were in the Facebook group,
Didn't see it.
What happened? And I'm like, it was clear as day. I mean, I watched him stand up and.
I felt like it
uppercut
happened
him.
this close to me, and it was on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Because I guess I was looking straight at it.
I guess I just happened to be looking in the right spot too. But that was very frustrating because 15 yards, automatic first down, instead of potentially getting a big third down stop, having the ball around the 40-yard line, whatever it may have been, with 9 minutes left, they go on and run off another 5 minutes before we get the ball back. And I think they ended up punting it to us, and we got it.
Over some nard punching, dude. Think about that.
We got it at like the 20.
He must have hit him with like that Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, man, because like that dude went down and was down for the entire commercial break.
Yeah,
No, we got
he
it
was
at
down
the-
for a while.
Oh my gosh, that's even worse. That makes me more mad.
They were down the other end, like the 20-yard.
Yeah, they were on their 20, 9 minutes left. He punches him in the wiener. They get a first down. They go on to run off 5 more minutes, punt it back to us with 4 minutes left, and punted it to the 5. So you're down 10 with the ball on your own 5 with 4 minutes left.
Were you shocked that he only got half against UAB?
I thought Ryan was going to throw him off of the team.
So did I. I thought his career was over. Like his college football career was absolutely
And
over.
he's just not going to play 30 minutes of football. Is that 15 for each nut?
I don't know, dude. That was, I mean, in all seriousness, like, yes, that other guy milked it.
I mean, is
it
that
felt
not-
like, but
Is that not worse than targeting?
yeah, I think that he should.
Also,
for a
did they
couple of
not
games.
count that as a punch? Does that not count as a punch thrown?
It's definitely a punch thrown. Like he straight up reared back and punched him.
I know he punched him. I'm just saying from like a rules perspective, I feel like if you're throwing a punch, you at least miss a full game.
I don't know. To me, that's inexcusable. Like, and
I hated it so much.
I like him as a player. I think he's been very good for us.
It was
and he's-
dirty. I want nothing to do with it.
And he's an older guy, so it's not like he's a young dude who doesn't know any better. Like he's a super senior, and you just freaking nard punch somebody.
All right, well, let's punch this one in the nards and move on.
Do you know who else I want to punch in the nard? DJ Douglas. You know who that is? The guy you kept yelling about pulling his wiener out and peeing on our freaking
my gosh.
sideline.
First of all, one of my best friends is a urologist. I need to get him an appointment because that dude ran to that corner of the
3
field
times,
and
at
peed
least.
3 times
Yeah.
in, I don't know, 30 minutes and was celebrating about it.
I will say,
I mean, the dude couldn't have gone 20 more yards into the tunnel.
it may have been sour grapes. Like this may come off of sour grapes, but is that not just super disrespectful?
I don't.
Most dudes, they
why-
have like a little tent they can just pee on the
They
field
had a
on
whole
the
damn
sideline.
moon bounce in the
Yeah, that
corner
was
right
badass.
next to us. What
I mean,
the hell?
cool.
What?
Super cool.
You thought that was cool?
The moon bounce thing? Yeah.
What a pain in the ass to have to carry that thing around and pack it up. Why don't they just have the expandable tent that everybody
Yeah, I
else
don't know.
has?
I've seen dudes pee on the sidelines, just like take a knee. I've seen
Right. Do the soccer pee. You're just
Well,
going
they
to
can't really go through the bottom of their short pants because they're kind of tight down at the bottom. But
You can
I know, but there's other ways of doing it as opposed to just going to the corner and peeing on our sides. Like it literally was like the U of M logo corner right there.
I'll make
this in
this.
trouble. For
I'm making this promise right here, right now. We make the title game and play in New Orleans. I will take a deuce in the corner of their field. Yeah, I will. I'll hang over the ledge. Drop one. Drop.
We're getting off a rocker today, man.
All right.
more-
Speaking of winning out, what would you put our percentage chance on that happening? Starting with UAB and Trent Dilbert on Saturday.
Percentage chance to win out. I mean, it's still pretty good because
I told Kenny it's less than 5. I have no faith.
I thought you had like an actual metric point.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, what would you put it at?
Geez, 35 maybe.
Wow. Really?
I thought you were Mr. 50-50.
I am, but like I'm sitting there trying to think about it. Like I think SMU isn't that good, but I also have yet to see us consistently put together a good defensive performance and a good offensive performance in the same game while playing a team
There's a
that
realistic
is of quality.
Yeah, there's a realistic chance that SMU is the last team with a winning record that we play
Yeah, I mean,
the rest of the way.
technically, yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's your conference. It is what it is. What's disgusting is how you handle it and how you win or how you lose. Like if you go,
Oh yeah,
what are we
need
now, 4-2?
Yeah, we need to win
Double digits.
the next
every
3
game.
games by 2 scores or more.
Like if you have a 1-score win over SMU, whatever.
If we go out and we're kicking a game-winning field goal against UAB, I will.
Wow. I got some news for you on that.
Let me ask you this: 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning on the road.
Don't like it.
I don't care. UAB is.
I have
Memphis
no
South.
confidence. I have no confidence in us playing on the road. Now they do have a disgustingly bad defense. They give up the most points in the conference. I think it's like 37 points a game, so we should be able to score. We should be able to run the ball. So speaking of opening holes, hopefully we can open some holes and Blake Watson maybe get some run.
Maybe.
Or Sutton, either one. I don't care. Hand the ball off.
This is the thing, though, is like, again, we go back to the consistency. Can the line fix their issues? Is it a scheme thing? Like I think I said this week 3. It seems like it's honestly a scheme thing. Like they don't have the players to run this zone read offense. Like they just can't consistently hit it. Like we've talked about it. There's not either everyone is flowing together and it creates just a wall and no one is separating. But now that we're 6 games in, I think it's too late to just start installing power packages and putting
Why?
a hat on a hat.
Do it.
We're 6 games in. Does it not seem kind
Is
of
hat on a hat not easier than
That's like
zone?
basic Pop Warner football, though.
I
right?
know. That's why you should be able to
See
do
guy
it.
hit guy.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You know where your shoulders are. I mean, it's someone's head up. That's obviously your guy.
I am scared because I think UAB's offense is pretty decent,
Yeah.
and this could end up being a 38-35 type of game.
You know, and I said it against Tulane. If you stop the run, you stop them. And we did not. Like, that dude had 130 yards rushing.
45 yards, I think.
Yeah, so whatever it
45.
was. I don't remember the number. But he killed us in the first half. He killed us in the second half.
130.
Yeah, I mean,
On 26 carries, 5-yard average with 1 tutty.
yeah. And Jermaine Brown, the main running back at UAB, is just as good. Like he's a bell cow guy. Like I think that you said 5 yards a carry. I imagine Brown's right there with him.
He's 4.7. They use 2. They got Isaiah Jacobs back there, too, that they like to hand the ball off to. They're both. Jacobs is at 4.5 a carry, and Brown Jr. is at 4.7 a carry.
Yeah, I mean,
8 tutties by Brown, and Jacobs got 3. And then Zeno, the quarterback, he's got 4 on the ground. He's capable.
yeah, I think he's actually much better.
He's got a
than he
long
gets
of
credit for.
44 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Look, that's the history of Memphis football. I feel like anytime a mobile quarterback comes in, stuff just gets dicey.
Why? We've had so many different defensive coordinators. We can't figure
I don't
out
know.
quarterbacks that can run.
It's a great question. I don't love it. Again, I don't want to sit here and say the same thing over and over. Just stop the run, you stop them. You know, I hate saying that, but like,
It's the truth.
it seems like it is. You know.
I mean, they do. They'll throw the ball around.
Yeah, and he's accurate too. I think he's good. Like a lot of it is very much so Brady White-esque, right? Like he's not out there going to win you a game for the most part, but he is going to complete passes. He's going to keep drives going, and he uses his mobility to extend plays, extend drives. Those 3rd and 15s, watch for Zeno.
Yeah, I mean
Zeno, whatever.
Brown out of the backfield too. They like to throw
Sure.
to him. Deshaun Palmer, Amar Thomas, they're 2 top leading wide receivers that they like to target a lot, both with over 300 yards. Palmer with almost 400, 5 touchdowns between the 2 of them, and they both have 50-plus yard long receptions.
Yeah.
Palmer's averaging 15.5 yards a catch.
Interesting.
You know, we like giving up big plays.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't think the secondary's played that poorly. I think if you're talking about it, like, I mean, even last week, I don't think they played that poor. Like, yes, there was the 3 dropped interceptions, and that's like, as we've said, it would have been game changing, right, if you pick those off. But I think you're still only giving up like just a little over 200 yards passing a game. I don't remember the exact number. I looked at it earlier today, like 220. That's not terrible, right? And I know you've played Navy, so perhaps people could see that as a skewed stat, but you know, they're throwing the ball a lot now. I mean, I think he had 100 yards passing against us, which is more than normal. But I don't think the secondary is really that bad. I really don't. They rotated 16 dudes at corner already. It feels like I don't understand that. Like DJ Bell had this great hot start to the season, and then he goes MIA for a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
like 2 straight games.
yeah, and it's not that he plays, but like he just doesn't play the rest of the game. And we're not hearing anything about an injury. You don't hear anything about that. And then Julian comes in. And then Feaster played a lot this last game.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because people were picking on Diego, or maybe he's banged up. Like, you're 6 games in, everyone's banged up. So I can't continually use the injury thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but maybe that is why they're rotating a lot of guys at corner.
All right. So we talked about 11 a.m. ESPN2, little national television. I think the line is currently at Tiggs minus five and a half.
Yeah.
Over under set at 63. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I just think Memphis has enough to win.
I think they should have enough, but I would be lying to you if I said I felt confident in us and getting a win.
Well, sure, because I don't feel confident in the ability to stop the run. Like, we just watched a freshman put up 130 against us, and I'm telling you, this is going to be the exact same thing. They're just going to run the ball down our throat, continue to move the ball, and if I could take a keg stand here, this seems like a wonderful opportunity to take a keg stand, because we sit here and hear about what a great defensive line we've had this year, how deep they are, how talented they are. Where the hell are they? Like, what is going on here? You have, I don't know the number, like 9 sacks from the whole team, I think. Right? Isn't it Andres Nard Puncher Fox has got 1.5. Trench Baby's got 1.5. Anderson, Spears, Joyner, Cormonte.
We have 12 total.
And Ellison all have 1. You know, if you take out the linebackers, so there's 1 from Sincere, 1 from Chandler, 1 from Rubin, 1 from Coffee.
Yeah.
But if you're talking just the D line, I mean, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the D line. If I read those names back, you know who you're not hearing? Your star defender, your captain, Jalen Allen.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Jalen Allen? Like, he's not really a main sack guy, right? He's not by himself off the edge. But this is a guy who put up 5 sacks last year. I mean, he was sacking people a sophomore year. Well, where are the sacks now? Like, I don't understand how he has disappeared. And I understand, like, different roles, right? Like, you can't expect to make a sack every game. Whatever. I get it. I think that's a reasonable ask. But
One a game's not too much.
I'm with you, but, like, where's he at, dude? He's got a goose egg on the season. The D-line has to be better. Like, we can't sit here and tell us that, we're pulling in these A&M transfers. We're pulling in these super talented guys, big-bodied humans, and then you have a freshman run over you.
Yeah.
I don't know. The line's got to be better. I think the linebacker's been fine. I think the secondary has been fine relatively. Outside of Luther Burden, what are you going to do there? What are you going to do? And yes, that one other guy who had 1 catch for like 70 yards. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Let's just get out to a fast start for once. I don't know who it was. Somebody in the Discord was making a joke about how this year's was all about finish, but then we just forgot to start.
That's pretty good.
Let's start fast, which is weird because the last couple of years we've gotten up to like 2-3 score leads. You feel like you've been starting fast, and then you just would lose it at the end of the game. Put it together. All right, give me a score prediction.
I mean, Tigers win 38-24.
I would take that.
That's what it should be.
We said 2 score.
I think
These
that's what
next
it should
3,
be.
you got to win by 2 score. I'll go. What's the over under at 63?
I could see it a 38-27. And I could totally talk myself into that as well, but
37-24.
okay. So you just did 1 point shy of me. Okay. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. 37. What a weird number.
37-21.
Why don't you just say 39? Give me a weirder number.
Speaking of, I was throwing in like 3 field goals in there.
With who?
Tanner Gillis. He's been fine.
Shout out to Tanner Gillis. He actually has been good.
Can we talk about Seth Morgan going from day to day for 2 or 3 weeks to now all of a sudden he's out for the whole year? How does that happen?
I'm assuming he was back at practice. He's kicking field goals. And maybe Martin Gramatica or whoever it was, jumped up and celebrated, came down, popped the ACL. Done.
Kenny said the same thing.
Really?
Would they not have just come out 3 weeks ago and said he was done, though?
Well, this could have happened yesterday. I have literally no clue. Like,
So you
he
think
could have
was
been
back?
practicing.
You think he was back?
He was dressed out on the sideline. I'm pretty sure people
fully
have
dressed out?
I'm pretty sure someone reported that reported is probably a poor word, but someone said that they saw him in clothes on the sideline, like in his uniform on the sideline, which is its own thing. Like I was talking to a player.
Tristan had a jersey on, no boot, nothing, no arm sling, nothing, no taped up, nothing, no ice. Just walking around like it was a day at the park.
I was talking to a player's dad, and he was talking about that, and they all just show up and they dress up, even if they're not going to play. Like you have to be on an active roster.
Is it turf toe?
It very well cool. I've had turf toe, dude. Turf toe sucks.
I didn't say it didn't.
It sucks real bad. I totally get not being able to kick.
It's got to be something non-visible is what
very,
my point
yes,
was.
but yes, very possible. A fracture of the foot. So maybe he got hurt at practice.
Well, I'll have to say this doesn't feel like 2 years ago. I have not once at this point in time felt like our kicking situation has cost us a game by any means. That's like at all. This year?
No, not this year.
That's what I'm saying. It's different than 2 years ago when it was literally blatantly obvious.
I was like, they were
changed the way we had to do everything.
Yeah, I was like, they were changing a lot, man.
All right, let's take a break. We will come back, and the first AP poll for basketball is out with Ken Palm ratings. So we'll talk about that. We'll be right back.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape, Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause, and most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
The issues that we've talked about all year, the keys, the biggest keys that we've laid out for this season to be successful, for them to win games, they failed.
Yep.
This offense can't find any consistency, and it is causing them to lose games. If the offense was more consistent, they would be undefeated right now.
And then just looking back, being in the stadium, 21-10.
10 minutes left.
10 minutes left in the third quarter. I wish you could just capture that energy and put it in a bottle.
Right.
Right? The positive momentum, the feeling from everybody within that stadium was something I haven't seen since 2019, quite frankly.
I believe it.
And you see how close they are, but then you watch, halfway through that third quarter into the fourth quarter, and you see how far away they are as well.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
People have this thing like, oh, I'm keeping the receipts and I'm going to remember who said this.
We wasn't lying. Like,
Well, I get so that's one. I've reached a point where like anything you say on Twitter, I can ignore it.
Right.
Like I'm not promising you I'll never pop back at somebody. Sometimes I do. I might today, but I often don't. I would say for every 50 negative comments I get, I might reply to one. I don't get involved.
I'm getting there too, man.
Yeah, but you don't look like you're getting there. I see you arguing all day long every day. You gotta
I'm
wait.
getting there, man.
You got a ways to go.
Well, I might get more. Well, I don't get as many as you.
Well, how about
close
this?
to you,
How about
but-
this? And I'm not saying you have to get there. I'm just saying I am there. There are different ways to handle social media. I just found it to be largely unproductive. But
I do it for calisthenics sometimes.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I don't feel no way. I just
Yeah.
okay. Let me just engage in this just for fun.
yeah,
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
He is absolute monster. He's going to give us one of the worst defenses in the league. They allow 28 points per game. And he's got 3 games of over 150 yards this year and a game with over 200 yards. Like, we were talking about guys, he has a 100-yard game. That's awesome. There are so many guys that don't even get to 100 yards a whole season, much less do it over 150 in 3 games out of the 5 already in 1 year, and have a game with over 200 yards is crazy for me. And Tyreek Hill is still $9,400. I think it's high. Don't get me wrong, but there are people that are slated higher than him, priced higher than Tyreek Hill as a wide receiver this week. Believe it or not.
Tune into Bluff City Bets presented by Zen Sports with Mark King and Daniel Greer every Tuesday and Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube network.
All right, Tej, did you see the AP poll drop today for basketball? Don't lie to me.
I know I did. I actually did see it.
I was going to tell you to guess where we were. 37 for those of you at home. We got 7 votes in the top 25. The only other American Conference team is the Owls from Florida Atlantic at number 10.
Do you have any issue with that?
Them being 10, yeah, they're not going to be a top 10 team.
It's not. What do you mean? Like, where you don't think they'll finish a top 10 team?
No.
That's fine. But starting the season,
I've always been one that think preseason polls are stupid. I think some games should be played first, and then
sure.
you kind of determine who's good. But
I mean, they are returning quite literally everyone and their coach from a Final Four team.
I had this discussion earlier today. Yes, but they are also one play away from probably not being ranked in the top 25 this year. If they had lost the first round game to us, they would not be a top 25.
But it's not a list.
Maybe
of
they would. Maybe they
probability.
would be like 25. But I mean, this happens all the time. They're a team that got hot in a single elimination tournament, made it to the Final Four, made a run. I'm not saying it was not impressive. They're not a good. I'm not saying they're not a good team. Whatever. I get they return everybody back. I don't think that they're one of the best 10 teams in the country. They played a very, very bad schedule last year. Now they picked it up a little bit this year. They play us twice. They play Illinois. They play Arizona. I think they're playing in the ESPN Invitational, so they'll potentially get a Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So they got a better schedule, at least non-common than us in conference this year. But I don't think they're going to be like a repeat Final Four team or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I also don't believe they will finish a top 10 team, but they have done everything they could have to start the season off as a top 10 team. If you believe preseason polls are a fine baseline to start off with.
So before we talk about metrically, because we'll talk about Florida Atlantic and that, if DeAndre, the waiver is approved, how far up from 37th do we move?
Say Maine.
I mean, I feel like that's got to be like top 15.
I think
top
18.
20.
18 is probably the highest.
But somewhere
you'll get.
between 15 and 20.
I think 18 is the highest you get. I would probably expect like 23.
That's fair. I'd take it. So metrically, you ask about FAU being 10th. KenPom ratings dropped. You want to know who the highest ranked American team is?
Not them. Is it us?
It is us.
Yeah, I don't know.
32nd. Florida Atlantic's 5 spots behind us at 37th. And then the rest of the American is trash. The next closest is North Texas.
Did they lose their coach?
Over Tulane?
Yeah, I would have expected Tulane to be there too.
No, it is. Tulane is. Yeah, no, they're 95th. North Texas is 87th.
No, I mean, slight trade off.
Well, there's 2 teams in between them. UAB's at 90th and SMU is at 92nd.
UAB doesn't even have the Jelly Roll guy or whatever his name is.
Nope. What? The country singer?
Not Jelly Roll. That is the country singer. What's his name? Jelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have Jelly. He's gone.
I mean, there's no role. It was just.
I know the Jelly Roll was the singer. I just misspoke is all.
That would be wild, though, if Jelly Roll played basketball for UAB.
He is not the basketball type based off looking at him. He doesn't look like he would play basketball.
He's got soft touch around the rim.
Something like that.
All right, so Ken Pom thinks we're the best team in the conference. Take a gander at how many games they have us losing.
How many games they have us losing?
So they do a projected record. I'm saying they do a game-by-game result projection. How many games do you think they have us losing out of our 29-game schedule?
5?
Close. 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me they're ranked
given the
that
fact
high.
that we're playing in that mid-season invitational thing, there's only 29 games currently on the schedule. They've got us going 26-3. You want to take a guess at what the 3 losses are?
Is 1 to FAU.
So the road, yes, the last game of the year, road game at FAU.
No way.
They have it as
Someone in the tournament. I
Currently
mean,
76-73 loss. The tournament games. Oh.
No, like
you're
the-
saying. Okay. No, they actually have us beating Michigan by 1 right now. That's the only
Missouri.
game from the team. Yes, Missouri is 1. A 1-point loss currently.
Because Penny's not coaching that game, right?
I don't think, well, he's not, but I don't think that factors into the Ken Pom ratings.
Why not?
They're 55th. They should. They're 55th, Missouri is. So that's 2. There's 1 more on here that they have as a loss. This is the biggest point differential loss. That
Texas
they have.
A&M.
Yep.
What are they ranked? AP 15, I think. Something like that.
Yes, they are 15th AP. They are 24th in Ken Pom. That's a 5-point loss currently at Texas A&M, 75-70. Would you sign up for that today?
Yeah, if you told me that, if I could sign up for that today, I think you're foolish.
So that
to not accept
includes a win over Michigan, which then would give you presumably a game against
Arkansas
in the second round. So that's another top. I think they're top 15, aren't they? Or 16th?
Interesting.
They're 14th. That gives you a win at Ole Miss, at VCU, a win at home against Clemson, a win at home against Virginia, against Vandy. Running through the
I would
conference
say clearing conference.
at 6 or 17-1. I mean, I would sign up for that right now.
It's like
That's dream
as
scenario.
bad
2012
as
vibes.
bad as I want to beat Florida Atlantic at FAU. I mean, I would take that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have, without question, winning the conference again, I think is an automatic. If you're telling me you're going to win the conference and then pick up a couple quad 1 wins, I mean, I don't know why you would. Like what? I mean, what's the other option, right?
Yeah.
Going undefeated, like
Would you drop a Virginia game and beat FAU at home? Go undefeated in the conference?
I could do that.
what is that Virginia do?
See, the only reason I'm doing that, I was actually just looking at this because if based on this, losing to Texas A&M, you would then go on a 22-game winning streak before you lost the last game of the year. If you take, in Kenny's scenario, you lose the Virginia game and then you win the rest of the year, you're going into the conference tournament on a 21-game winning streak.
See, we know better. We've been down this road.
What?
We get on these win streaks, and then we freaking hit Tulane in the membrane.
Stop. We're not losing. When do we play at Tulane? Circle that game.
I'm using them as an example because I think
No,
that's
it's
who
true.
busted
That's the
bubble last
game.
time.
We don't play them till third week of January. We should be fine by then. The one this year that's going to be tricky. Oh no, it's at home. I was going to say this SMU game. It's the second conference game. I thought it was away, but it's at home. Yeah, you have Tulsa away, SMU, UTSA at home, Wichita State away, South Florida. Like, you got a pretty
You should smoke those teams.
easy start to the conference schedule before you play at Tulane.
And again, I'm only saying Tulane because I think they're well coached, and we've been down this road before.
And they brought Kevin Cross and Jalen Forbes back.
Yeah, like we've been down this road before.
I mean, I don't understand how Tulane is ranked so low when they have someone that's projected to be first team all AAC on their squad. Like, Jalen Forbes is supposed to be that guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, the computers don't like them.
And Cross is good.
And Cross can play.
So that's Ken Pom. Bartorvik is updated. You want to take a guess at where we are on there?
So, dude.
He likes Memphis, doesn't he?
No, Evan Maya likes Memphis.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Is Evan Maya one of them, too? We're going
That's
over?
the last one, yeah.
I don't know, man. 31?
Close, 30th.
30th? Okay.
So they're right in line. 32 on Ken Pom, 30th on Bartorvik. And then guess where FAU is in Bartorvik?
So we were 30th. They are 15.
21.
Oh, wow.
He does have them rated higher. That's 16 spots higher than Ken Pom's got them.
They should be rated higher. I don't know how you could. No, stop. You can't.
I said I don't disagree with
They
you.
said I disagree. I was like, you can't argue that they shouldn't be rated
Now,
higher.
if DeAndre's back, I think there's no question that we're the better team.
Okay.
Just telling you.
Seriously?
I still they just haven't done anything to be penalized, to be ranked lower.
We had 2 basketball players last year and still should have beaten them. Now we have an entire squad of basketball players.
This roster is. I think right now this roster is better than what FAU has. I mean, Elijah Martin and John L. Davis can
guards
play.
Don't get me
are
wrong.
so good.
They are good.
They played team basketball. I think that's the difference, though. I'm worried that we may not play the team ball. Why are you looking at me like that? Is beer getting to you, dude?
This smoked salmon beer is something else. You don't think we're going to play team basketball?
I don't even know what that means, TJ. Honestly,
I think we're going to be a bunch of one-on-one.
No,
Get out of here. You sound like a freaking
He sounds like Dan
color-
Dockich. He
Yeah,
sounds like
a
Dan Dockich
freaking
talking.
ESPN color guy on our games.
I've gone back and rewatched some of those games.
AAU club rolling the ball out.
I've watched some of those
never said
AAUs. I've watched some of those
Kenny said
games from last year. And who's the guy, the AAC guy that always covers the games for ESPN? The color commentator, he's a former coach. Anyway, white dude with kind of brown hair. Anyway.
Every white dude.
Right. I know.
riveting.
His name is Chad. His name is Chad, I think. No, just joking. His whole commentary about the Tigers the entire year was they just play so free and they do things they're not supposed to do and it just works out for them. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of my face, man, like.
No, I guess when I say
I mean,
that,
I won't disagree that they play free. I think it's one of the draws for some kids to come play for pennies. It gives you a little bit more freedom.
yeah, I
Offensively.
think when I say they don't play the team ball, like I think that we do a lot of ISO, and it was a lot of it was.
I mean, we're not freaking Princeton offense out here.
I know, but in a situation where it was. I don't know how many times it was KD calls for a screen and then just it's pick and roll and he's just rolling to the basket, just kind of throwing something up. Like I would love for someone to trail behind him, someone to cut in, like just more motion, I guess is what it is. I don't know. I felt like FAU was looking to facilitate more than Memphis was at times is all. And maybe that's a limitation with what the roster was last year, right? You had KD and you had DeAndre
And Elijah cutting through that lane.
but he was also missing some layups left and right.
All
I
right.
lose faith.
All right, last one, Evan Maya. Any guess where we're at here?
Top
yeah.
10.
Yeah, Evan Maya likes us typically. I don't know what his algorithm is, but it typically likes us. I will say 25.
I think
He hates us. 43.
Sorry, I got caught up looking at something else. No, he has us at 30th.
Oh, he hates us. We suck again.
So everybody's pretty much got us right there, top 30.
Yeah,
all excluding DeAndre.
Completely fair.
All right, guess where FAU is?
17?
Nope, 31. We're better. That's two metrics that say that we are better than FAU without DeAndre. What caught me off guard, I'll tell you now, he's got listed here top 10 college basketball players. DeAndre Williams is listed 5th.
Huh.
But I think that was for last year.
Yeah, it seems like a bold statement. Unless he knows something we don't. You know?
Let me see. It's got to be last year. There's no.
I just don't
know. It's for this year. Updated 10/16. Is that today? Yeah.
I do think that this year's roster was without doubt better
that
than
right?
last year's. Without question.
It's a strong statement, TJ.
Without question. I mean, like, twofold, right? I mean, like, is it not twice as better? Am I insane for saying that? Like, KD was great. Obviously, it's on the fence on DeAndre.
Yes,
but,
it is so much better. It's not even funny.
like, you didn't have a Jaquan. You never had a third piece last year. And that's assuming you're looking at it in the
Now
sense.
I'm worried. Does Evan Maya have his 30th and he's got DeAndre on our team? There's no way that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
How would we have a top 5 player in college basketball and be 30th?
In 30th. Maybe he doesn't have faith in everybody else.
The rest of the guys? I don't know.
I think this is completely I think a 5-loss team is probably right on par. 5 losses the whole season.
He has it 3.
I know. I think we'll
TJ thinks we
split
dropped
hairs.
2 more.
Yeah. I mean,
So the Ken Palm actual projected record that they have so it's got, like I said, game results projection, but there's a lot in here that are like flips, right? So one of those is the Missouri game. They have it 77-76, but it's literally 50-50. Somebody's got to win the game, so they threw that out there. Another one is like the Virginia game's pretty close. It's a 60%. Michigan's 57, 1-point win. But their actual projected record on Ken Palm is 22-7 with a 14-4 conference record. They are giving us a 4 with a 0.9% chance of having an unbeaten record in conference.
this is Evan Maya?
No, this is Ken Palm. Our chance of going undefeated for the entire year is 0.01%.
That's absurd.
I would undefeated in conference at 0.9 feels low. But,
Disrespectful? Rude?
I don't know.
I don't know. Literally, I think that's just coming off that FAU is decent. I don't think you guys liked me saying that they are now the Houston, but what I meant by that, and I still mean by that, is they're going to be the highest ranked team, and they are. We saw the AP poll came out. They're ranked higher than us.
That's fine.
They're a top 10 team per the rankings. You play them twice. You have not seemingly been able.
There's a team in the American, including FAU, that has a more talented roster than us.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's fair.
I could see it being like a 5-loss year. I'll
I
take
said
it.
2013. Was that 2012? 2012, 2013.
The Will Barton team. I thought they were like 31-4 or something.
Whatever, dude. We know what team we're talking about. It was when Stoudemire was still there. Whatever. I'm projecting that team, like something like that.
Yeah, 5. We were 31-4 going into the NCAA tournament. Michigan State was our 5th loss.
All right, Trey.
Kenny, were you about to say something?
No, it was me.
Oh.
Is that all right, Trey?
All right. hashtag, are we back on fade TJ since you lost again?
Nah, dude. I'm going to shut it down. It was unbelievable. I took Kansas money line over Oklahoma State. And they were effing with me, dude. They were
What a
playing with me.
turnaround from Oklahoma State after getting absolutely drilled by South Alabama to start the year. It was like 37-3 or something. Beat the Jayhawks out of Kansas.
They did.
Was it 39-32?
32, yeah.
So what does that move you to? 4-2 or 4-3?
4-3.
4-3, I think, yeah.
Gosh.
We're getting
Dressing
close
back.
to the fade, TJ. Again.
Yeah.
We're getting back in there to.
We can
avoid
still go
me.
ride TJ just for this week.
We'll go till you
We
get
got
to
to come up with a better name there.
go-
For being real honest, ride TJ. I am married.
Yeah, Alicia may not like that. Ride with TJ.
With me.
I've improved to 5-1-1 with
Wow.
SMU very easily covering the 12.5
The very definition of Thunder picks.
over East Carolina. What's your ride with TJ this week?
I'm getting weird with it.
Weird.
I'm going to go Ohio State and Penn State.
You're all about these big. Oh, Ohio. I thought you said Iowa State.
No, Ohio
Gotcha now.
State and Penn State. I'm actually going to take the under, mostly because I think Ohio State's
Under
offense,
47.
I have it at 48.5, so I guess it just depends where you look. But I think Ohio State's offense has been kind of slow to get started. And then I also think that Penn State and Ohio State have pretty good defenses. I mean, I don't think that either one of them has really played anyone. I know Ohio State played Notre Dame, and they just mollywopped USC. But I think that both defenses look pretty good. Like I could totally see this going under the 48.5 without a doubt.
Yeah. I don't hate it. Life's too short to bet the under, even though I suggested the under in the Memphis
was like, did you
Tulane
not?
game, and it hit. I'm going the opposite direction. I'm taking an over, and I'm going to take the over in the South Carolina-Missouri game.
What's the number?
The number is 60.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mizzou's putting up like 36 points a game. South Carolina gives up 38 a game, I think. South Carolina's been scoring 30 a game. Feels like an over to me.
Are you a believer in?
Plus, you get to root for points and scoring and fun
It's more fun, dude.
in an over.
Are you a believer in wanting the teams that you have lost to just win out, like Mizzou? Like they just had a good win over Kentucky.
I don't
They're now
hate-
ranked number 20 in
yeah,
the nation.
I mean, I don't hate seeing that. It's much better than
Does it justify the pain
what.
in a way?
I mean, I'm over the Mizzou loss at this point.
You should be. You should.
I mean, I want Tulane to suck.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. And this is one thing that I've never understood with the SEC because like our friend Sean's a big LSU fan and he will cheer for the SEC to win. I'm like, those are your rivals. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't-
understand.
I've
I don't want
never-
Tulane to ever win a game ever again.
I know.
I don't understand the logic personally, but
It's weird. Out of conference, I guess I want the teams we beat to do well. But yeah, in conference, it's hard for me to ever root for a team I dislike. So with that, the whole situation, I've been fine with Missouri continuing to win. It's been troublesome to watch Boise struggle as they have and give up a 30-10 lead with 4 minutes left or 6 minutes left, whatever it was, last week and lose on a Hail Mary last play of the game. That was disgusting.
all 15 onside kicks recovered.
Yeah, it was gross.
You can get that quarterback thing figured out.
Yeah, I can't. Houston, UC, I could never root for them to win anything. Even when they were making the New Year's, like I wanted Tulane to get smoked last year against USC in the Cotton Bowl.
I didn't think about it, but yeah, I mean, I think I actually bet for them to get smoked.
Anytime UCF played in New Year's Six, I wanted them to get drilled. Houston, the same thing. They played Florida State, that I wanted them to get drilled.
I just don't get it. Like, what's in it for you?
Nothing.
I guess more money, right? I guess that's the.
I think you
Whatever.
just get the money from getting there, don't you?
I don't know.
You have to win.
I don't know. Maybe it's a sweetener if you win.
Also, it doesn't help that now we're like the only American team that's made a New Year's Six bowl that didn't win.
None of them had to play Journey Brown. That's the way I look at that.
Or Micah Parsons.
Or Micah Parsons. Are you kidding me? Unblockable.
No kidding. All right, let's get into this hellacious
This is something, dude.
smoked salmon Dr. Gibbler
I tried looking it up. Do you know what Dr. Gibbler means?
No, and I've never heard of any sort of smoked beer. I've had a smoked whiskey, campfire. This is next level.
So it's smoky, without question.
I mean, does it not smell like smoked salmon to you?
I don't get that, but while in Germany for brewing school, it was apparent that an old frontier brewing was rarely crossing the U.S. Smoked beer. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. I mean,
This clean, crisp, straw-colored, and amazingly clear version harkens to a time when all malt had
clean
to-
and crisp. Are you reading the right description?
Yeah, it's what it says, man.
Interesting.
More smoked beer must be made, false, and made in the world's other smoke capital, Memphis, Tennessee. I get the smoked capital.
Look,
I
this
get it.
is not going to be pretty.
I don't love it. The can's weird. I don't understand Dr. Gibbler. I looked him up. He's just some doctor in Cincinnati, Ohio, so that can't be the right guy.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
I don't know what's going on here.
I think they're talking about. Are y'all young enough? Are y'all too young to remember Kimmy Gibbler?
Yeah, I know Kimmy Gibbler. That's Zordon from Power Rangers. That's who that is. He's just got a doctor thing on his forehead.
Oh,
Why
Are you too
doctors
old
wear
to
those?
remember that,
Why don't,
Kenny?
why don't doctors
am.
wear
This
those
guy.
anymore?
Because why? Why'd you wear that?
It's cool.
You hear this clown?
y'all are young bucks, man.
Dude,
I can't.
I'm like 5 years younger than
can't
you.
have
This is
another
Zordon on a beer.
I like
It's
the
black
can.
and white. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's giving spooky vibes. Campfire in the woods.
There's a
It
tent.
fits in with the Halloween theme. We're in October.
I mean,
I don't hate the can at all. This is a good can. I'm going 7-1 on the can.
that's high for me. I'm going to say like a 5-4. I just don't know who Dr. Gibbler is. The creepy doctor face there. I don't know. I just don't get it, buddy.
I wish you guys could see the color of this. If you get one,
It's
which
straw colored.
I won't. What?
Did they say it was straw colored?
It is surprisingly light in color compared to what it smells and tastes like. I mean, it looks like a Michelob Ultra. I'd be lying if I told you there was any less than 3/4 of this remaining.
I drink all mine. I mean,
There's no way I could do that.
you just got to push through it. Be a
I mean,
man.
Natalie's going. I'm going to get home, and she's going to ask,
She had
like,
a
where
pack of
yeah,
cigs.
did we stop by the corn maze and sit by the bonfire? I don't. It's not for me.
It's definitely not for me. I've talked about not being a malt fan several times, and there's some malt in here.
I see. I haven't even had enough to get the maltiness.
Do you smell salmon when you smell it? Though?
It is. I mean, I'm getting nothing but smoked salmon vibes, and I think
smells
that's
like
what the problem is.
tobacco to me.
I can't handle the smell with. It's just throwing me off.
I mean, flavor wise, what did I say on the can? 5-4.
Yeah.
It's probably right there with that.
I'll
I'll go 5-3 because I like it less.
Not
than I
to
like
bring
the
up
can.
a bad memory, but I think I drank more of Andy's Mint than I drank of this.
It's not. I mean, it's not for everybody. I think people would try this and they would actually like it. Like, as I've seen a lot of people get those smoked old fashions. Maybe they like that smoky flavor to things. I
mean,
don't care for it. I don't care for
I've
this.
had one and it's fine. It's more about the experience of the smoked old fashioned and it's fine. This is just, I think it's just the can holds, I can't do it. I don't even want to give it a rating because I feel
You
rude.
have to. It's literally the whole premise of why we're here.
I don't know that I've ever not finished.
That's not true. You didn't finish the cucumber beer either.
Oh, that was bad. I forgot about that. Can you imagine having a smoked cucumber sesh? 3.1.
Trey gives it a 3.1. I gave it a 5.3. You guys should definitely try this.
3.1 feels
Just for shits and giggles.
Generous.
Since we're cursing tonight.
Drink 1/4 of that beer.
It's a Smoked Hells Lager. Dr. Gibbler, Wiseacre. Just try it out. Maybe we're crazy. Let us know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe if you're at a campfire, you just got the smoke smell around. Maybe we're just in the wrong setting of this clean, beautiful studio. It's throwing us off.
You think it's Brian Gibbler?
I don't know who that is.
Douglas Gibbler?
I'm not familiar with any Gibblers.
Not either, man. I know Kimmy Gibbler. I know that one.
Is that Full House?
What? Yeah, Full House.
Why'd you say what like that?
I just didn't hear what you said.
But her dad wasn't a doctor.
Nope. So I don't understand it. Again,
All right. BluffCityMedia.co. Subscribe. Join the Discord. Check out the other shows. Comment, like. Subscribe to YouTube.
new Daily Grizz podcast out.
There's a new Daily Grizz.
It's called the Daily Grind.
Daily Grind. It's daily.
Is that Luke? Is that Luke and
Luke Hadamaker and Mark King.
Luke and Mark.
I think you guys let Mark get on.
I don't think.
there?
I don't think he's doing. I don't think Mark's
Unbelievable.
every day though, is he?
Well, listen, for the sake of the show, hopefully not. But
Mark's only when his alarm clock goes off. And he actually gets
exactly.
up.
Whenever he
when he's
wakes
not
up.
playing kickball or
He's in a morning kickball league.
he's either playing kickball or he's playing what's the new big game that everybody likes?
Pickleball.
Pickleball. He's either playing pickleball or kickball.
I haven't gotten into pickleball
Me
yet.
either.
Oh, it's
I've
fun.
literally never even hit a pickleball.
Oh, it's fun.
We have pickleball courts in our neighborhood, and it is constantly packed, and I have yet to go over there.
Just play ping pong at that point.
No,
or
no,
play
no,
tennis.
no. It's fun.
What's the difference?
You're moving. You actually move.
You ever play tennis? You're
Don't you move?
literally
No, I thought you
moving
said,
less
I
than
only
tennis.
heard ping pong.
Okay.
Ping pong is not the same sport.
It's the same thing.
It's just life-size ping pong.
Yeah. You're just a little closer to the net.
You're standing on the table as opposed to behind it.
Yeah, instead of being 6'4" Kenny, you're like
Exactly.
It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kenny.
3-inch Kenny.
Well,
Kenny Jr.
Oh no,
Oh, no.
this took a turn.
All right. Hopefully we don't freaking lose to UAB this weekend.
We're gonna get our
and,
podcast shut down.
Well, maybe so.
Don't lose to UAB. Get the Battle of the Bones back. That's the best trophy in college football.
Absolutely. How do we not? We do
Fight
have
me.
it, but we need to keep
No,
it.
I don't think we have it. I thought someone said it was gone.
no,
We've
it
had
was
it since
at-
2012.
It was at the facility today.
Okay, I remember someone saying
It's
that.
actually, I know a lot of folks are hating on it. It actually looks hella dope, dude.
It is.
No, it's the best
Who's
trophy.
hating on it? It's like
Don't make me get on Twitter. And come
It's
on.
actually pretty awesome.
if we win, TJ and I need to eat a rack of ribs in here next week.
I'm not against it. Where from though? That's the tough one.
I mean, what's close to getting here?
I mean, I pass a Corky's. I pass a Central.
There's a one and only right down the street.
One and only. Let's do one and only.
Oh yeah. There's one from.
I'll bring some one and only ribs if they win this weekend.
We're doing it. All right. Come with a cold beer, a rack of ribs. Stay for the hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.